I want to talk to you about emergency business loans from banks. And those are loans that are very flexible. They have a streamlined application. So here's a rundown I want you to pay attention to. The very first bank I want to share with you is Truist Bank. Truist Bank is a fantastic bank, especially when it comes to emergency business loans. And so with Truist Banks, you can actually, you have, what we love about those banks is that you have the ability to get your loans done in real time. So that's really cool. And Truist can actually qualify you all the way to $250,000. $250,000, that's really fantastic, okay? And we love the fact that Truist actually will want you to be in business for at least 6 months. That's really cool. And you have the possibility also to actually upgrade to a business line of credit later on if that's what you want. So the opportunity to go from business loan to business line of credit and vice versa, that's really fantastic. So you have a $250,000. In some cases, Truist can go all the way to $500,000 for your emergency business loan. Okay, that's really fantastic. So that's number one. The second bank I want to share with you is Regions Bank. And we love Regions because the Regions gives you a lot of flexibility for your business, especially if you are looking for an emergency business loan from Regions. Regions, however, wants you to be a customer with them for at least 6 months before they can consider you. That's an important element. And so, of course, you have to have an account in good standing. So you can have either a business account or a checking account. They just want to have some kind of relationship with you. But once you do, you are able to actually qualify for an emergency business loan from Regions that goes all the way to $250,000. That's really fantastic. The only thing is that Regions is not available nationally. Same thing for Truist, by the way, though. Truist is not available nationally, but Truist has a footprint in more states than Regions. But if you are in a geography that Regions covers, you will really love the fact that in terms of emergency business loans from Regions, you'll be taken care of by a team, and they will assign to you a business banker who will actually understand the type of emergency you have and really grant you, make sure that you get funded in real time. So that's really fantastic. Next, you have a Santander Bank. And if you're looking for an emergency business loan from Santander, you will love the fact that Santander can go all the way to $250,000. And we love the fact that Santander has personal loans, of course, but also business loans, especially business loans that really are there for emergencies, okay? And even better, Santander may have in some cases actually a pre-qualification process for your emergency business loan. In other words, the whole application is not going to affect your FICO score, okay? And Santander actually is also available in a limited geography. They're more like on the East Coast. So they're also in Florida, by the way. So if you are in the geography that Santander covers, you will love this emergency business loan from Santander. So this is really fantastic. Maximum loan amount $250,000. If you want to collateralize the loan, they can even go all the way to $1 million. That's not a problem at all. Next, you have a First Citizens Bank, and First Citizens Bank is really great for an emergency business loan, and they can give you all the way to $100,000. They're not as generous as the other players on this list, but they are very reliable. And so First Citizens is really, really quick also in terms of approving your loan, your business loan, your emergency business loan. And the cool thing is you can use the emergency business loan from First Citizens for a constellation of things. You can use it for working capital. You can use it for inventory. You can use it for payroll, and you can always use it for equipment financing. The bottom line is that First Citizens gives you the option to either have an emergency business loan or set you up as an emergency business line of credit. And but the amount is still the same. $100,000. It's one of those things where you have to see what works for you and what doesn't work for you. And what I want to say also is that when we talk about First Citizens in general, you also have to remember that it is geographically restricted. So you have geo restriction, an element of geo restriction here. And you just make sure if you were to go with the First Citizens Bank for your emergency business loan, you want to make sure that you are in the same states, in the states they cover. Next, you have Wells Fargo. So when you think about Wells Fargo, I want you to think about a bank, an emergency business loan from a bank that can give you all the way to $250,000. And there are cases where if you do not collateralize the loan, they can give you $500,000 or even $100,000. I mean, sorry, even 1 million. And this is really good because Wells Fargo is traditionally very generous with its loans. Even on the personal side, if you are thinking about an emergency personal loan from Wells Fargo, they're giving you from $3,000 all the way to $100,000. So on the business side, they are very very generous too. So that's really fantastic. And Wells Fargo has is a more national bank. So basically, you're not going to have the geo restriction that you have with all the other banks. So you are more likely to be approved no matter where you live right now in the country, right? And so Wells Fargo also has a system in place where they can pre-qualify you. So you can check your rate actually with no impact to your credit score. So that's really fantastic. Next, you have a PNC. So PNC is really great when it comes to emergency business loans from banks. And PNC is really fantastic because they will qualify you up to $250,000. But PNC wants you to be a customer for at least 6 months before you can qualify for an emergency business loan. But $250,000, the APR starts at about 8% to 12%. That's the minimum. But you can get $250,000, and you have $25,000 all the way to $250,000. And the cool thing about PNC is that even if you don't qualify for an emergency business loan, they can actually qualify you for an emergency personal loan that you can use for business purposes. And for the emergency personal loan, the maximum loan amount here is $35,000. But for the emergency business loan, the maximum loan here is $250,000. So you have a lot of flexibility there when it comes to PNC. That's what we love a lot. On top of that, PNC is known to fund business loans real fast. So if you're looking for an emergency business loan, the last thing you want is to have the loan been funded after 1 month. And so PNC will accommodate your desire for speed, and they will actually will fund your business loan actually within 48 hours. So that's really good, especially when you think about a big bank such as PNC actually accommodating you. Next, you have US Bank. So US Bank is another bank that's really great for emergency business loan, and we love the fact that US Bank will give you anywhere from $10,000 all the way to $500,000. That's really good. And US Bank is kind of similar to Truist in terms of flexibility. In other words, if you have an existing relationship with them and your account is in good standing, if you don't qualify for an emergency business loan, they will transpose your application to an emergency personal loan and see if you can qualify. And for an emergency personal loan, you can qualify for a loan that goes all the way to $50,000. But that's really good. That's really good. And you have the ability to get funded real fast as well. So that's really fantastic. So we love that aspect of things when it comes to US Bank. And now you have a TD Bank. So TD Bank is also great when it comes to emergency business loans. And TD Bank will qualify you for a loan all the way to $250,000. And that's if you want to do stuff online, you want to do the application online, $250,000. If you want to go above that, you might have to go to a branch. So TD Bank wants you to go to a branch to apply for an emergency business loan, and they can qualify you all the way to $500,000. If you go to a branch, they can qualify you all the way to $500,000. That's really good. And now, if you want to collateralize the loan, you can actually get all the way to $10 million. So that's really an important element to keep in mind. But TD Bank, kind of similar to Santander, is a geo-restricted, and they sort of cover the same geography, TD Bank and Santander. So we're talking here about Connecticut. So TD Bank is available in Connecticut, New Jersey, Delaware, New York, Washington, D.C., North Carolina, Florida, Pennsylvania, Maine, Rhode Island, Maryland, South Carolina, Massachusetts, Vermont, New Hampshire, and Virginia. So that's really an important element to think about. If you're looking for an emergency business loan from TD Bank, make sure that your business operates in the states that I just listed. Once again, the states are Connecticut, New Jersey, Delaware, New York, Washington, D.C., North Carolina, Florida, Pennsylvania, Maine, Rhode Island, Maryland, South Carolina, Massachusetts, Vermont, New Hampshire, and Virginia. Next, you have Fifth Third Bank. So if you're looking for an emergency business loan from Fifth Third Bank, you are in good hands. And Fifth Third Bank is really flexible. They will give you a signature a business loan or a secure business loan, and it's kind of similar to their personal loan. So the signature business loan actually will go all the way to $100,000 unsecured. If you want secure business loan, you can go to $250,000. So that's really good in terms of generosity. We love that a lot. Of course, Fifth Third Bank is not as in many states as TD Bank, but hey, listen, they get the job done. They'll fund you real fast. And Fifth Third Bank is actually really good in terms of customer service. That's one thing we love a lot with the bank. And but the best way to actually get Fifth Third Bank to fund you is to schedule an appointment. So schedule an appointment today. Go to a branch. I mean, they're not in many states, but in the states where they're at, they could actually take care of you real fast. Okay, so schedule an appointment now and go to a branch and have a conversation about your emergency with the loan rep, and get things signed right then and there. Next, you have KeyBank. So KeyBank is really good also when it comes to emergency business loans, and KeyBank will give you up to $250,000, and we love the fact that KeyBank will give you the money real fast. They will fund you within 24 to 48 hours, which is really cool because if you are in emergency and you're looking for an emergency business loan, KeyBank is there to kind of help you out. So that's really fantastic. And what we love about KeyBank also is that they are basically they are able to accept a streamlined business loan application online. So everything can happen online, and but you have flexible terms. You have a fixed interest rate, no collateral required, no origination fee or prepayment penalty. That's really good. But KeyBank is kind of similar to US Bank in the sense that you have a limited number of states where the bank is present. So let me give you the states where the bank is present right now. You have Arkansas, you have Colorado, Connecticut, Idaho, Indiana, Massachusetts, Maine, Michigan, New York, Ohio, Oregon, Pennsylvania, Utah, Vermont, or Washington State. So you have this sort of geographical limits there. But if you are in those geographies, you will love the service that KeyBank actually offers. Next, you have a BMO Harris Bank. So BMO actually doesn't publish the loan amounts that it will give you, but you can use a BMO loan, business loan, emergency business loan to do all kinds of stuff for large expenses, for inventory, for working capital. But based on our research, BMO actually will give you up to $250,000 when it comes to their emergency business loan. So this is really good. Now, BMO is not in as many states as all the other players on this list, such as KeyBank or Truist or US Bank. But BMO is a really reliable lender, especially when it comes to funding you real fast. So that's really good. And the geographies where they are, especially in their home state of Illinois, they were really fast. So fantastic, $250,000. They want you to be a customer, though. They want you to be a customer for at least 6 months before you can qualify for an emergency business loan. Then next you have M&T Bank, and M&T Bank is also really good in terms of giving you the emergency business loan that you want to take care of the emergency you have. The maximum loan amount here is $150,000, and so M&T Bank is kind of cool also in terms of switching to a personal loan in case your business loan application was denied. You are able to apply simultaneously for an emergency personal loan and actually use the loan proceeds to fund at least partially or fully the emergency that you have on the business side. So that's really good. And what we love about M&T Bank is that M&T Bank actually is pretty. It's really a local bank in the sense that they really care about their customers in a big way. They want their customers to actually succeed, and they'll do everything needed to make sure that you get the best service at a very fast pace. So we love that a lot. Next, I want to talk to you about Huntington Bank. And Huntington Bank has a series of emergency business loans. And what we love about Huntington Bank is that they are their customer service is fantastic. Okay. They may not be they may not have as many branches as all the other biggies that I've listed into this conversation, because Huntington Bank is in only 3 or 4 or 5 states. But in the states where they're present, they really give you a great emergency business loan with a maximum loan amount of $500,000. That's really cool. Okay. And so you are able to actually have your loan funded within 3 days. Those are the amount. And so $500,000 within 3 days. You got to be a customer of a Huntington Bank for at least 6 months before you can qualify for an emergency business loan. And I was telling you a little earlier where Huntington Bank is actually present. So your business, to actually qualify for an emergency business loan from Huntington Bank, your business must operate in the states of Ohio, Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, Michigan, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Wisconsin, Minnesota, South Dakota, and Colorado. By the way, I said three or four states, but it's more. You can see that it's more. It's nearly like 10 states. So that's really good. So you can see that we are expanding the geography when it comes to a Huntington Bank. That's really fantastic. And what we love about Huntington Bank also is that if you don't qualify for an emergency business loan, you are able to qualify for an emergency personal loan. And the amounts, of course, are lower. So we don't talk about $500,000 anymore. We're talking about $50,000. But hey, listen, it's still something. So you can actually fix whatever emergency you have on the business side of things. So on the personal side of things, you can borrow up to $50,000 depending on qualifying factors with a fixed rate and flexible payment options. So that's really fantastic. And one thing I want to say here is that when it comes to emergency business loan, you have to really understand that big banks wants to see your financials, whether it is Huntington Bank or U.S. Bank or Key Bank or what have you. They all want to see your financials. They want to see your accounting reports, so your financial reports, your balance sheets, your income statement, your statement of cash flows, and your owner's equity statement. Of course, you'll tell them what the nature of the emergency is. But after saying that, they need to make sure that you have the financials to repay the loan that you just taken. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. In today's conversation, I spoke to you about emergency business loans from banks. I gave you the rundown, and now I'm just closing today's conversation. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.